Hey guys. Thank you so much for tuning in this week to This Georgia Clay. I know that we have been gone for quite some time. The last time we posted was on December 11th. I was just telling Matt, like, man, it's been a month. It's been a month of rest, peace, refocusing on our house, what's important to us, and our future. So a lot in 2023 to come as far as like our home and some decisions that we might make as far as moving. If we're going to sell our house, that's been a debate. So we don't know. We're still considering that. I know that last year we were saying, when we first started the channel, like this wasn't our forever home, and it still isn't our forever home. But with those interest rates, it's the right now forever home.
Yeah.
So
money kind of, forces you to put things into perspective. So
correct.
We're just trying to be smart. That's all.
Exactly. Speaking of money, I think that we've always been transparent with our channel. When we first started the channel, before we closed, we kind of did a video. If you guys haven't checked that one out, it's the Shiplap Chronicles, where we sat in front of our fireplace before closing and we discussed actually how we afforded our home, how much our home cost, how much we put down, which was $66,000 that we saved in the span of 10 months. So we hustled, and we're not unfamiliar with a hustle mentality. So I think that's kind of where we're at right now, like wanting to figure out if we're going to stay in Georgia, if we're going to move back to Texas. I wouldn't say California because California is insane and I have no desire to go back home. I'd go home to visit, but I wouldn't live there again. But yeah, so we're just still debating on that. I really do want to move to Texas, and but we have a lot going on here. I mean, my mother-in-law lives down the street, so we always have that to have her to think about as well in our decision making. So it's a lot. If it was just us, we would have been gone. But we have a lot to discuss and unpack this year. But fast forwarding to now, we have not forgot about our 10,000 subscribers. We are now at 12,000 and some subbies. I think it's like 12,246 was the last time that I saw it.
We're at 11,200. So
I guess I was putting in perspective the extra 1,000.
She's already like 2 months ahead.
Exactly. Not 2 months. It usually takes like a month. So let's not go that far. Anyways, but thank you guys so much for joining this Georgia Clay family. I know a lot of you guys give us a little nickname of TGC. I really like that. It's been sticking rather than saying this Georgia Clay. I mean, it's not that long, but just having that little pare down. Is it pare down? Stuff like
acronym, little nickname. That's cool.
I was gonna say acronym, but then I was like, maybe that's not right.
Anyways, no, that's right.
Okay, so having that little acronym, I think we'll start to incorporate that a little bit more. We're also going to be turning this Georgia Clay this year into an LLC, starting our own official business. We have clients that we do projects within their home as well. That has not. That's not the focus of what we would want our business to be. We want to do more so like the design and consulting part rather than the building part. I think it puts a lot of pressure on Matt because we have children, but they have no desire to do what we do. And so it's not like if we made that a true business, we would have someone to pass it down to, because they're not going to continue it on. They probably would sell it and get the money and be done. So that's not our focus. What we're trying to do, we would like to make this Georgia Clay more so a brand rather than a building company or per se. So that's something that we're trying to refocus and redirect and see exactly how this Georgia Clay looks going forward when it comes to offering client services. So a lot to going forward. This video this week is primarily just having a chit chat with you guys, being open and honest about our channel and the direction of our channel. Not so much of a DIY, because again, with the channel, I think it's morphed into doing DIYs, and I think sometimes it puts a lot of pressure on us to finish projects and to have them be this amazing thing, even though the designs are bomb, I'm telling you, and Matt pulls them off. And I'm never going to sacrifice in my home and do something just because of the sake of time and just make it look cheap, because that's just not me. So that's not the issue. The issue is, I think sometimes that each week we're trying to put out content for DIYs, and we need to take some time to scale that back a little bit. be realistic, because we are realistic people with realistic budgets and pockets.
Yeah.
And so we need to take some time and do those projects like a normal person would normally do. In the last year, I think being in our house has been, next month will be a year and 6 months, which is insane. Like, the time is going by so quick, but I really don't feel like, a year and a half, a year and 6 months. I could have just said a year and a half. That's just like what people when they have babies and they say 36
24 months.
Yeah, or 36 months.
32
He's 3.
months.
Like, yeah. I can't stand that. But yeah, so anyways, so what I was saying is, being realistic, because in the last year and a half, all the projects that we've done, technically it may take some people 5 to 10 years to do as many projects that we have accomplished in our house. I think we speed up some of the projects too, because we do know that we plan to sell. And so I really don't want to sell my home with unfinished projects to the new owner. So I think that kind of accelerates the process with us as well. But taking this time this year, waiting for interest rates to drop and see what the market's going to do so we can buy another home comfortably. We're just kind of, maybe take some time on some of our projects and scale them back a little bit. Not as far as how nice they're going to be, just scale them back as far as the timing and showing you guys those projects as well. So there'll be more content as far as like having some chit chats from time to time, letting you know perspective of like, we're starting like with doing debt consolidation and paying down some things, because with the house and projects and stuff, things can get expensive. So we're starting that, making sure that we're in a great financial position. So when we buy a new home, there's no ands, ifs about, we could just get whatever we decide to ultimately purchase, and we don't have to worry about a loan officer saying, I don't know, and what about this instead of this. So that's something that we're looking into. Also getting a truck for Matt.
Oh yeah, I want a truck so bad. I was like, because living here in Georgia, even in Texas, it's like 95% trucks, so you kind of feel left out. And it's like that one time that you have an SUV or a car and you can't use it how you want to. I think the time we bought the 85-inch for downstairs, I almost broke the TV trying to get it into the back of the Telluride. So we definitely need a truck. If for nothing else, like mulch in the springtime, we could just throw stuff in the back and go. You don't have to worry about the height, the width, and all that. Just, if you need to tie it down and just ride.
Yeah.
But that's the next goal. But, we could also put it out to the people too, as far as what they want to see. So if you guys want to see like Target runs, because
I go there all the time.
Oh,
I was just there.
A little too much.
I was just there yesterday. And I feel like you can't get out of Target without spending, at least for me, it's like $160. I feel like I don't even have that much stuff in a. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Whatever. But I feel like for me, it's $160. And maybe sometimes above if I'm going and I know like I need a whole bunch of stuff then, but mainly like I'll get like maybe 4 or 5 items and it's $160. And I don't know why I can't get it under that, but it's always like $160. But I come home with good stuff. I mean, yesterday I went though and I got that candle though was expensive, but I love it though. It was $40
this year,
but I love it. It's like in a ceramic base material. And when you're done with the candle as well, you can reuse this bowl. Probably for me, I'll probably put something in it maybe during Christmas time or whatever, because this year, these are actually the Christmas colors that I was going for. So that'll be good. I can put like some ornaments and stuff in it if I use it down that much. But I burn candles, but I don't burn them daily to maybe get this done before Christmas. But we'll see. That'll be a goal. So I purchased that. I also got, what else did I buy? I bought Lanaya like this organizer for her room or whatnot. She like does her nails and stuff, so she's pretty frugal. So she likes to do her own nails and got her the whole kit and everything like that. So I bought her a little organizer to go on top of her desk, because we will be starting her project in her room probably end of February, March, because we're working on our basement right now, and that's been like the top priority. And I bought some other things as well, but there's some florals that I purchased. And I was trying to make those florals work. I was putting it in the base on our kitchen counter. I was putting it in my console, and it just was not giving. So I'm gonna have to take those back. But they were kind of pricey. So I guess it was a blessing in disguise that it didn't work out. But anyways, I'm gonna take those back. And then, did I just buy the candle and those? I got something else. Oh no, I got that base over there too. I'll show you. You didn't even notice. So I've been trying to add some more neutral tones. So I like this. It also has like these maple leaves, not maple leaves, but these green leaves in here. What type of leaves are these? I don't know. Some kind of green leaves. But this one's $29, and they had another one that was $19.99. But for $29, I thought that it would be a little bit larger. Online, it looks a little bit bigger, but it still works. I mean, the span of the leaves kind of take up the base, but I feel like the base should have been just a little bit larger. But I got that from Target. So I got that, like I said, the candle, and that's pretty much it, I think. I think, and it was $160. That's insane. I can't think of anything else that I purchased that was big or like a big ticket staple item.
Well, I give my 2 cents. I mean, Target, some of their stuff to me is a little pricey, but when you compare it to something that looks just like it that you could buy like at Crate and Barrel or somewhere else that costs like triple the price, then I'll be quiet. So, you know, when I see in comparison the prices, Target has some pretty nice stuff that looks designer without spending a ton of money. So I'm all for saving some money, so I'm cool with that.
He says that to y'all, but I have to hear it. Anyway, but so yeah. So pretty much, you know, just doing, if you guys want to see like those kind of hauls, because like I said, I do go there quite often. I used to go to Home Goods a lot, but I don't really go there because I've just always had an issue with looking through stuff. I like stuff that's nice and presented, and I can buy, there's 10 candles there and I can get a candle. I mean, I don't like to have to salvage through things, and I know that you can find a lot of good items there, but I don't have the patience for it. So that's pretty much why I stopped going to Home Goods, or I really don't go there at all, because of that style within that store. It's just not for me.
A couple of things that we did find was what was that cookware called? All Clad. So like you can find some good stuff if you just like pop in there every once in a while. You don't know what you'll find. You know, it could be something amazing. Like we found some good All Clad cookware. It's been there pretty consistently. I think the few times we went, it's been there. But like a couple pieces like our entry, the console.
Yeah,
the console, we found that. Like, so you can find some gems in there. It just depends on when you go.
Yeah, you just have to have patience. You have to know what you're going for. You know, I think sometimes you can end up with a whole bunch of random stuff. And you're like, what the heck am I going to do with this stuff? Trying to piece it together. If you just go in there, just not with a plan. But yeah, so I usually go there. I did go to Crate and Barrel recently, and I got some glass mugs for our Nespresso machine that we just got, because that Nespresso makes some large cups of coffee, so you really need like a large mug. And I have tons of mugs. If you guys saw my Instagram story, within my coffee space that's here to the right of me, that I'm going to get together, because right now it looks like a hot mess because we really haven't been utilizing it in the way that it needs to be presented. And I kind of have put the kitchen on a back burner because I've been dealing with other areas of the home. So we'll come back to the kitchen and get it all nice and organized and beautiful, because I did say that I'm not one for, I love an organized looking home. I just get overwhelmed when it's time to organize, because then I start to bring out everything and there's so much stuff and I'm like, what am I going to do with this? And I just start putting it back because I don't have the patience to do it. So that's something I'm working towards this year in 2023, to be more organized, more purposeful, be a little bit minimalistic, I think, to cut down on some of the waste and clutter and things that we have, because sometimes I purchase things and I might use it once or twice, and the next thing you know, I'm giving it to neighbors or whatever, and I've spent so much on it and I'm giving it away for free. So that's something that I want to work on, but that's something internally that I need to work on. I know that I have a little problem, but I try to rationalize and like, oh, this would be beautiful in my house. And then you don't even see it. Like I bought that charcuterie board back there that I'm looking at, and I'll never use it again. I'll never use it again. But now it's a decor piece. So it kind of went hand in hand, so it works out. But then there's also a board over there too. So it's like, do you need 2 boards? But I can do a layered look, I guess. Matt's like, you're right. Let me stop pointing it out so he doesn't notice. So yeah. So anyway, so with our channel, it'll be more so like that. We are working on the basement. The whole purpose behind the basement is, as you guys know, that I work in a small little section within our basement, but it is still open to the entire rec space. And now that we have that huge TV, my kids want to use it every single day, video games, everything. So it causes insanity for me. I like my workspace to be quiet. I just like to be zoned out, and I just want to focus. Even though I'm only doing emails, I still want it to be quiet. I want to focus on the email that I'm writing. So Matt's not like that. In his office space, which he's been utilizing in the guest space, he will have his laptop going, he will have music on, the TV on, and it drives me insane.
I can't work in silence. I need some kind of background noise.
So, yeah, it was either we sell now or you build me an office. So he decided to build me an office. So in that space, in our basement, we were fortunate to have an unfinished space. So our house is pretty large. When you think about it on a 1-story, the basements are the biggest. They're bigger than a 2-story because a 2-story is cut up with the stairs going downstairs. Also, the footprint on a 2-story is your house might be 3,000 square feet, but you're dividing that on 2 levels. On a 1-story, however big the 1-story plan is, mimics the same in the basement. So that's how our house is. So our house is 2,029 square feet is the main level. But then we also have the basement. Like we said before, if we only had the ranch without a basement, it wouldn't have worked. We would have never purchased this house. But with the basement, it allows for us to grow and expand and not be on top of each other. Our other home, we had a 1-story and it was bigger than this 1-story on the main level, but it was just, there's no basements in California. So that worked out. It still was a 4-bedroom, just like this one is a 4-bedroom and 2-bath on the main level. And then we have a full bedroom and bathroom downstairs. It makes it 5 bedrooms, 3 baths. And it allows for that space. So with the unfinished space, there's an additional, it was like, when you did the square footage, it was like 1,400 square feet in there.
Something like that, yeah.
So that's pretty big. So when we walked in there and now that it's framed out, it's huge. I'm like, man, there's a lot of space within this house. Like people slip on, people, what's the word I'm looking for?
Take their house for granted?
No, they miss out on the 1-stories. They
sleep on.
Yes, there you go.
Sleep on.
They
don't sleep on
1-stories. Yes,
and a lot of people we talk to too, like everybody we talk to that owns a 2-stories says, I should have bought a ranch. I'm tired of these stairs. So it's like we've always wanted a 2-story, but somehow end up back in a ranch. But everybody else says that was a smart decision.
Yeah. For resale value too, ranches always sell first. They normally sell to older people. I think that we are every house that we are old in spirit. But even the first house, though, we bought it when we were 23 and 25, and we're 34 and 36 now. But anyways, when we bought that house, we were the youngest people on our block, and we had a 1-story, and everyone else that had a 1-story were like these older people. But we loved our 1-story, and it just worked for our family. And then now this time around too, same thing. Like the youngest ones and everyone else that has a 1-story, they are older than us, but it is what it is. But yeah, for resale value, normally it'll probably go really fast to an older couple, or it could be like a family that has maybe teenagers or whatnot, so they can put one of them down in the basement. I'm pretty sure that it'll probably go to an older couple though, like maybe a retirement couple, and then they'll be happy to have it because it's very rare to find a 1-story on a basement, and a finished basement at that too. So trust me, because we've looked and they don't really have them, and a lot of builders don't build them anymore because they take up so much of the land, where they rather have more 2-stories than 1-stories in their neighborhoods. So it works in our benefit.
And there's some nice ranches out there. So I mean, I kind of wish more builders would invest more in 1-stories, because you also see they might have 1 or 2 ranch plans and they're whack. Like the functionality is terrible, or they don't have enough rooms or space. So I wish it was more of a thing, and instead of like them trying to get more profit out of the land that they bought, make it better for families. You know what I mean? So, that's just my opinion. But I think the longer we've been here and the more we make it our own, the more it works. Yeah. Like in the beginning when we first moved in, this house wasn't the greatest to me. It had our room, bedrooms, kitchen, we did what we had to do on the main floor, and that was pretty much it. But then we did the media space. We figured out we could work in these little nooks and made a space for you to work, and then it became more functional. But especially now that we're going to finish the rest of the basement, it'll make it even harder to leave. So I don't know. Over time, we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah. I don't think it'll make it harder to leave. I just think that it'll make it more emotional when it's time to leave, because of all the time that we've invested in the house and all the projects and things like that. But when I find that house, we're out, okay?
Yeah, I just mean, I think honestly it'll be hard to top the space that we created. You know what I mean? So I'm not really.
We're going to be more picky.
Yeah.
Should I say that? It might be more difficult for a house because someone else might look at our next house that we're, because we're actually starting that process of looking for homes and things like that, because we have been seeing the decline in the housing market as far as the prices of homes and new builds are coming down. And they have a lot of standing inventory, which kind of works on our benefit too, because you can negotiate with builders like, hey, I'll take this house from you, but I need you to drop it $20,000, $30,000, or give me full blinds in my home and, appliances and all those things that you might need. So, you have more wiggle room when it comes to that. But in terms of like finding a house, we are very picky now. It's like, as soon as we see a floor plan and if it immediately doesn't work, we're already done with it, because we don't have the time and the energy to make it work. Like with this house, we have to make it work because we can't move right now. We're not in the position to be able to move. So you got to deal with what you have and then make it to the best of your ability. So that's what we're doing. But in the next house, if I'm spending more, the house has to have every single thing that I could ever want and need within that home. So, and it doesn't, and I don't mean like everything that I've ever wanted or need. Like I don't need all the upgrades, because we upgraded this house $170,000, and I feel like what did we spend that money on? Yeah. I know the basement was a big thing, but as far as like the kitchen, I don't know if that was money well spent. Matt really wanted the shaker cabinets, and my mother-in-law doesn't have the shaker cabinet. She has the level 3 cabinets. These are level 7 cabinets, which are more. I do love the shaker look. It's just the only difference is that the doors or the drawers are shaker. Now, if I was to get the level 3, then it would have been a flat panel door on the drawers, and then the doors would have just had that shaker detail. I could have lived with that, but my husband wanted to give me what I wanted, and he said it didn't matter how much it cost, so we got the shaker cabinet. Would I go back and do it again? Maybe in the next house? Probably not. I probably would do whatever the regular was, the flat panel drawer, and then get the regular detail within the door. I don't like that bevel detail. It would still have to be a shaker door, but the drawer itself doesn't have to have a shaker detail in it.
And I was thinking about this yesterday too, like the glass panels that we have. I was putting some cups away in the cabinet. I was like, man, it would be nice to have that space. Because like right now it's just for display, but I mean, I guess you could use it for glasses if you kept them organized, but honestly, you'd have to like keep everything perfect in there. Yeah,
and it would drive me crazy because you would have to have glasses that were, like for me, it'd have to be all white glasses. They don't have to be all the same type of glasses, all the same type of plates and everything. And then my kids are lazy because when they do undo the dishwasher, like I'll find stuff over here in the coffee area that shouldn't be there, and there's bowls over there, and they don't put it back where it's supposed to go. So if that was usable space, it'd be insane. So
I think one thing I really want in the next house is like usable storage in the island.
Yeah.
So like an island that has like cabinets in the front or maybe on the side where you could actually put stuff would be cool.
Yeah. But then also I feel like the more areas you have to tuck stuff, the more junk accumulates. That has been an ongoing issue with us in each house. We have a junk drawer over here, and Lord,
I know y'all got a junk drawer too.
That thing, every time you open it, like mail goes underneath it to where the Tupperware is, and oh my gosh, it's insane. And I see it fall, and I just let it fall. Then the next time I get some Tupperware, I'll put it back in the junk drawer. But it's insane. We've cleaned it so many times, but it keeps going back the same way. And it's like, I don't understand how I get junk mail, because we're on the
almost everything's paperless.
Yeah,
so I don't
paperless.
even know what's in there.
What's in there.
I really
keeps
don't.
Coming. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure maybe it's like our medical card. So if we need to go somewhere, we'll need to look in the junk drawer to find it. So
good luck.
That's pretty much what's in there. So with the next house, that's pretty much been a focus, but also it's been pretty much a secondary focus. We were supposed to go to Texas this weekend, and we were supposed to leave our house by 4 a.m. and we didn't make it. But we should have went to bed earlier, and we should have went. Like, we were going to Texas for the intention to find a new home, to look around and see. Our daughter is going to be a senior starting in August, so we're kind of in limbo if we want to move her, let her just finish her senior year, and then right behind her, our son will become a senior. So that's kind of been tough too. Do we let them finish out school here? Our oldest doesn't care. She likes her school, but it is what it is. If she moves, she moves. But my son has a girlfriend now. You know how that goes. So yeah, he's kind of been on us. He doesn't want to move right now. He'll move later. Like he wants to go back to Texas, but he doesn't necessarily want to move right now. So that's been something that we've been thinking about as well. But also pricing dictates our move too. So, I only could take his consideration so far. So yeah, so that's been a focus. Again, with the basement, it has been a labor of love. It really has. Like, we paid for some framers to come and frame the basement, and they started, and they did a pretty good job as far as like getting it started. Like, they framed all of my office space. In my office space, we'll have some unfinished storage behind me. So they framed that all in, and then the exterior walls that were in the basement that were concrete walls. And then partial of Matt's office. But that was pretty much it. And we'll insert some clips as far as what they finished. And then so we paid them a fee per day. And I won't say the fee amount because that's a fee that my cousin gave me. So if anyone is watching this vlog, or future vlogs and wants to utilize him, I don't want to give a false expectation that's what you're going to necessarily pay, because that's my family. So anyway, so we decided, instead of paying the daily fee again, let's see if we can try and do the framing. And when I say we, I mean Matt, you know that. So I said, babe, like, can you do it? And at first he was against it. Like, no, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing this. But then I think, what was it more so, like, money-wise, you're like, okay, let me see what I can do. It wasn't necessarily money-wise. We have put that money aside for it.
Yeah, like, we could have paid him to come back and finish, but I think it was more like a challenge. Like, I think we could do it, so, why don't we just go ahead and try? Plus, her cousin, actually, he left his framing nailer here, with the air compressor and all that. So, we had the tools, we had the supplies, why not? We had the wood and everything. So I had never framed a wall before, but then I thought about, you guys have seen our fireplace video, hopefully. And the overall framing concept is kind of similar to that, with 2x4s and, 16 on center and all that. So, I looked up, did a little bit of research on just making a basic wall, and I started with like a 4-foot section down there. So we built it on the floor, raised it up and nailed it in. And, I thought to myself, oh, that's not too bad. So let me try the next wall. And the next wall, it actually has a door in it. So, you get your basic door measurements. Most doors are 30 by 80. So you need a rough opening that can fit that. So basically, we built out the whole wall on the floor, made sure there was enough space for the door to fit, and had the right measurements, and then we lifted it up, nailed it in, and boom. That was like, this is pretty cool. So so we actually ended up finishing everything else out. So it's done being framed pretty much. We're just waiting on insulation and drywall, which we need to order.
Yeah. So we still need to order that, and then the guys will come and install the insulation and the drywall for us. Yeah. Anything that they don't finish, then we'll go ahead and finish on our own, just to keep the costs down of the project. Because I feel like it's starting to get at an amount where I'm like, should we have done this right now?
It adds up quick.
So
quick. If you guys are starting a project, just know that, don't bite off more than you can chew. Kind of just, make sure it's planned out. And put in your own sweat equity. So if you guys don't mind doing a little bit of the work, it can save you a ton of money.
Yeah. But it's actually given us perspective as far as like if we were ever to build our own custom home, not us build it per se, but have a contractor and be in that design process from dirt all the way until, because this home was a semi-custom home. So that means like, we could have added additional square footage, doing bump outs, things like that, but I couldn't move walls. Like whatever the floor plan was, that's what the floor plan is. You can extend it if they had an option for them, like the morning room could have been extended, but we didn't do that because it would have moved our deck to the middle, and then it would have obscured, is that the word? Obstructed
messed up the view.
My view. So did you just give me the definition of obstructed? You said or messed up the view.
No, I was making it simple. It would have messed up the view.
Anyway, so it would have, been just an eyesore, I would say, because we do have the umbrella on there now, and we have furniture on there and stuff. And I know the furniture kind of sits low, but still, I didn't want to see any of that, because when the umbrella is open, then you would have that issue. And if I were to stay here, I would eventually have put on a cover, had someone come and build it, extend it out the deck, and then put a cover on it. And I didn't want the sun or anything to block from the inside of the house. So that was one reason why we didn't do the morning room extension. It makes it look nice, and it adds additional square footage to the home a little bit. It also bumps out in the basement as well. So it makes it look nice, but I just didn't want to move the deck over. So that was a concern for me. Also, our backyard isn't that big, so if we would have put the deck over it, then it would have taken all that space where we had built the pergola. Like we wouldn't have been able to put that there. So just those things that you think about in the long run. But I say all that to say that building in the unfinished space of the basement has really been like, you don't think of all the details that go into it. Like, okay, well, what kind of baseboards are we going to have? What kind of flooring do you want? What kind of hinges on the doors? What kind of door style do you want? What kind of handles for the doors? I mean, it's just so much that goes into it that I wasn't prepared for. And it's just those minor details sometimes you just have to take a break from and not think about it because it will drive you insane. So far, I've only ordered the LED lights for the can lights that are going in there, but all of the other details, like I made vision boards or Pinterest boards for Matt's office and for my office as well. And as we get more into the project, and we'll talk about that, and I'll show you guys what the vision is in both of those spaces. But Matt will actually design his on his own and do his thing, and then he'll come to my office and help me build my built-in, and then I'll go ahead and finish it up and paint and all that stuff all on my own. So just giving us our own creativity within our spaces to have our own style come out and personalities and stuff within those spaces. Because in the house, you kind of don't have that freedom to have your own personality come out that I say that an office space allows you to do, because you're kind of trying to match the flow of the house, for me per se. I mean, I know some people in each rooms, you go in like, what the? And for me, I just like it to be consistent. The only thing that's like that is pretty much like our kids' rooms, but still they bring some kind of emphasis back to what our home theme is, like modern farmhouse and stuff. So for Jalen's room, he has board and bag on his back side of his wall, and that kind of ties it in, but then he has a slat wall to be more modern, and that's not necessarily in our home, like that type of style that's in his bedroom, so it allows him to be unique. And then in Leah's room, she has vertical shiplap on the bottom of her room, so that gives that farmhouse style, but then she also has a pink wall, and you know me, I don't do color, so it just allows for everyone to have their own type of personality. So yeah, I think that's pretty much our projects this year or last year that were important to us, and making sure that the kids have their unique spaces, making sure our bedroom was nice, which still needs to be done, because that the planter that plant is sitting in, the tree, it's still got the tag on it. So that's driving me crazy. I just bought a new table to go in the middle. There are 2 chairs that sit at the end of our bed, and that's been nice because we've had coffee there, I think once or twice so far.
Yeah,
so that's been nice. So sometimes, if I find a piece and I'll bring it home or whatnot, and that was from Target as well. That's a Hearth and Hand collection table. And so that was important for us to do our bedroom. And then, like I said, the basement project is going to be legit. It's gonna be real nice. I can't wait. So it'll be a mixture of a rec space in there, but it'll be gym, and then the 2 office spaces. So mine is immediately when we first walk in to the right, and then you go down like a little hallway, and then it has an open space for the gym area, and then Matt's office is tucked in the back. And then we also were able to create space in there for unfinished storage as well. That'll be walled in, so that'll be nice too.
Yeah, and that'll be a whole series. So we'll start that pretty soon, next week or 2, and show you guys the whole process. So more stuff in store for sure.
Yeah. And just continue to stay with us. I know, like I said, the channel it will still have DIY projects, and it'll still show some projects, but sometimes when there's nothing to do, we're just gonna have vlogs kind of like this, or maybe a shot with me, or just a day-to-day kind of thing. Not a day in the life, because I said I'll never do a day in the life, but just just a little chit-chat thing, and then talking about if we did some area within the basement, we could talk about what was the vision behind that, like kind of behind the scenes, to give you more perspective. I know I was talking about, I was like, we should do like a podcast where we can talk more about the projects, because in a YouTube video, for me, I don't like the YouTube videos that are like an hour long. Nobody has time to sit there, and I have some people and they love to talk, and I like to talk too, but I don't know, after a while, it's too much. If you keep repeating the same thing over and over again, and it's like, I heard you, and so I don't never want to be like that. I try not to be like that, repetitive and stuff, and it's just you're drilling the same information all the time. So I feel like a podcast would allow us to be able to have conversations like this, open it up more, where we can be more hands-on, or not hands-on, ears-on, I guess, because it's voice, with our subscribers. So let me know in the comments if that's something that you guys would like to see as well, because a podcast is easy. I can put up a camera just like this. We have a conversation, rather than always seeing us doing something, and we don't feel the pressure of always having to do something all the time. we could just have normal conversations. Because trust me, our conversations are pretty good. We'll have just marriage and what's going on day to day and stuff like that. And even with our friends and everything, like we love to have friends that are around us that have the same values as us and same perspective in life. And it just makes those conversations that more enjoyable.
Yeah, imagine a conversation with Tiffany.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a good episode.
I don't know. We'd have to censor a lot. So yeah, Tiffany is my best friend, and a little backstory on that. Like when we've been working at the same job for a while now, and I've always seen her, but she looks so damn mean. And I said damn. So yeah, so she just looks so mean. I was like, well, maybe she doesn't like me or anything, but also I guess I come off as this like,
don't mess with me
kind of look, or I'm better than kind of thing. People say, I don't know where they get that from, but that's not the case. But I guess the more that we decided to actually talk, and I said hi one day, and we started talking, that I was like, man, this chick is really cool. Like I really like her. We have some of the same values and stuff. We're the same silly type of person. We can say stuff to each other and it doesn't offend each other, and it's just a natural relationship, and it doesn't have to feel forced or anything. And I love her to death. And we did a project recently in her house. We did a fireplace for her and her husband Connor, and it was so hilarious because that nail gun he had, y'all, he had like this antique nail gun. It was
antique. Well, it was old Betsy. Boy.
He called it old Betsy, but the nail gun came in a case. Anything that comes in a case is an antique, okay? And it came in this case, and he opened it up, and it was made out of full metal. And I'm like, what is this? And you have to like really push on the nail gun for it to work. And so some of the nails were backfiring and stuff. It was just a hot mess, but we got through it. But it was so freaking fun. We had a great time with them, and it was hilarious. So I have that story for the rest of my life of that project that we did. So kudos to Tiff and Connor. And yeah, so we're going to his surprise birthday party on Friday. He won't see this till after.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, so it don't matter. So it don't matter. He won't see it till after. So happy birthday, Connor. And I already got the day off. Tiff doesn't know yet, so I'm going to surprise her because I still have to figure out a babysitter for my daughter, Lanaya. She gets off at 9, so somebody got to pick her up. I think we covered everything, brought everyone up to speed. That's pretty much what we've been discussing and doing for the last 4 weeks that we've been off. Yeah. So now that we're back, we have some client projects coming up. On the 28th, we're building a mud bench. This time's a little bit different because we're building the mud bench. Seat area will be lifted a little bit because they have a cat. And so they're going to put a litter box within the mud bench at the bottom, and it'll have a shaker door front to kind of cover half of the litter box, so you don't necessarily see it, and the cat will just walk in and do what cats do. So we'll do that. And then we also have a nursery wall for our neighbor that lives on our street that we did the fireplace for as well. So we're doing that. So 2 projects. We're also with clients, still taking on clients. I know some people say, I didn't know that you guys were offering that as a service. Yes, we've been saying that. But yes, we do offer it as a service. And like I was mentioning in the beginning of the blog, that building per se is not what This Georgia Clay will ultimately be. It will be more so designing, consulting, and then we will have people that we can refer you to have those projects completed for you. So that's something that we are scaling or thinking about and wanting to implement probably later on in the year, because I need to save my husband's back and everything like that. And he does a lot with heavy lifting and all those materials and all that stuff. And I only could do so much to help him out. And I don't want it to be something where he ends up dreading rather than loving. So you have to find that balance, because I was the one that was doing all the designing and had all these goals and stuff. He just needed to help save money. So he kind of got pushed along to learn the skills. But I don't think that was ever his vision. He's just kind of been evolving with me. So I appreciate you for helping out, because
it ended up, I don't know what happened, because I don't know if you guys saw the Q&A when we first moved in. We both said we are not handy. Yeah. And that was very true at the time, but I don't know what happened over the last year and a half. Like, we just kind of fell into it, and
we've been extremely handy.
We've learned so much. I think we've learned more in this house than any point in our lives before that. So
yeah. Matter of fact, we'll show some old pictures of our old house. You ready to show that? Yeah. because I thought I was doing the most. I thought my house was beautiful, and it was at the time because a lot of things were dark and heavy, and
espresso
was in,
granite was still around.
Yeah, all of those things, and you had to have stainless steel. If you didn't have stainless steel in your house, you wasn't doing it.
You ain't made it yet.
Yeah, you didn't make it because you wanted black and white appliances. Like
no.
So that was the thing. But yeah, we did some exterior work in our house. I like the backyard. The backyard was a nice chill space.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was nice. So yeah, we had that house and we stayed there for a couple of years and then ended up moving to Texas, and then we were hooked. And then I thought we were never moving, but then we ended up here in Atlanta. We don't live in Atlanta.
We should make that known.
I'm just saying, like, whatever. So yeah, so that's just been, it's been an adventure. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I've been saying like we should go visit because once you leave a place, you have the memories. Mm-hmm. So we just want to go back to make sure that the vibe is still the same. We still have the same feelings before we make that choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything just needs to be in line. That's all.
Yeah. So I guess pretty much to wrap it up is, yes, we are moving. We're just trying to figure out where we're moving, if it's ultimately Texas or here staying in Georgia. We've looked at some homes in Georgia. They're just not what I've been wanting. I just feel like they're not, for the money they want, the level of home, I'm just like, this is it's not what I'm envisioning, what I'm going to spend. If I'm going to spend almost $1 million, because this house was $500,000. So my next house is, what is the next one? $250,000? $750,000?
Yeah.
$750,000. If I'm going to spend $750,000 plus on a home, I think that house needs to be like, wow. Not like, oh, it's a nice house. Mm-hmm. So that's our thing.
All right, so we want to wrap up the video by picking our personal favorite projects from 2022. Mm-hmm. And let us know in the comments what your favorite project of ours was, because we'd like to know. Mm-hmm. Also if you guys have any ideas for the future, what videos you'd like to see, let us know, because we can't create without you guys. Yeah. So we appreciate you, and we'll take any feedback that you have. But let's start with your favorite project.
My favorite project, there's so many good ones. I have to say our bedroom, because I feel like it's like a hotel room every time when I go to bed. Yeah, and I just walk in there like, oh, it's so nice in here. Especially when I clean, wash when it's laundry day and I'm washing our sheets and making our bed up and everything, and it smells so good. And it's just that vibe at the end of the night. It's just so nice. And I think we've never had anything as nice as that for just us. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what I love the most. What about you?
I think you already know my favorite. My favorite project is our media space in the basement.
Really?
Yeah.
More than cuddling with me in our bed?
I mean, you already said that's your favorite project. So
yeah, it's supposed to be the same.
It's our favorite project too. But yeah, I mean, the bedroom is nice because it makes, once you get off of have a long day of work and all that, it is nice to get in a nice fluffy bed with Brooklyn and sheets and and see the nice fireplace on with the TV on. It's real chill. Our shutters and everything just kind of make it more homey, more cozy, which is cool. Kind of,
and more high end feeling.
Yeah,
like I feel like our bedroom is kind of like a display at like a West Elm, a Crate and Barrel Pottery Barn. You know how they have the bed up on display? You're like, oh, that's so nice. And like, I feel like that's how our bedroom is. It's just a nice display, but it's also functional. Real people live in that bed. And it's just nice at the end of the night. Yeah. The fireplace on,
I think a lot of people just naturally neglect the bedroom. Like when you buy a new house, you
just feel like
you
you're
get the
sleep
kitchen
in
straightened up, you get your dishes, you get your couches and all that for the living room. But don't put your bedroom last, guys, because when you lay in that bed and you just feel at home, forget the rest of the house, because you earn that bedroom, you earn that house. You deserve to have a nice room to crash in at the end of the night. Yeah,
for peace of mind and just to bring your thoughts into perspective. Just like, okay, I'm gonna turn off everything and I'm just gonna lay here and I'm just gonna relax. Because sometimes we, like as much as we love to spend time with our kids, and we try, actually I think this year and last year was the most that we've ever really spent family time and focus on that, because our kids are getting older, they're about to graduate and stuff, and it's like you're starting to think about man, I only have so many, years left with them where you're force them to hang out with you rather than you have to call them and say, are you going to come over? So that's been our perspective on that. And then also we have a 10-year-old still. She's still little. And so we still need to do a lot of things with her, and needs more hands-on things. And she's got a lot going on at school and all kind of things. She's in every club you can think of. So, we still have to do all those things, but it is nice sometimes that we have to focus on us and say, okay, we spent the last 5 days with you guys. Let's have one night where mom and dad just stay in our room. Let's just chill. Let's just relax, because they're not babies. It's not like I have to be in their face all the time and watching what they're doing. They know how to cook. They know how to clean. They know how to be in their own space, because those kids are quick to go in their rooms and we don't see them at all. But yet we're trying to get them to come down, hang out with us. But they will be in their room and just chill and just be in their own zone, which I love that, because that's why we built those rooms like that. So that way they can feel relaxed and enjoy them and want to actually be in their space. Because if you just have a bed in your room, it's depressing. And you don't want to be in there. It's just, there's nothing to look at per se. There's nothing to do in there. It's not functional. You just feel like I need to hurry up and get out of here, because it feels more like a prison rather than a sanctuary. So.
But yeah, I'm a huge movie person. So that's why I think the basement is my favorite, because, we watch a lot of stuff and shows and movies together as a family in the basement. I think my favorite part is the accent wall, the slat wall that we did. I'll put in some B-roll, but it kind of makes the TV pop. It makes it feel more like a theater. Plus the built-ins and all that just makes it a complete space. And Brittany deciding to do the black walls was, I think, the perfect choice. I don't think any other color would have made it feel like it does. So I appreciate that, and I just love the space. We kind of just go down there and crash on the couch and just be bums, and you just kind of feel like you're in your dark cave, and you can just relax.
Yeah, because people will text me or call me or whatever. Where are you at? In the basement? I'm always in the basement. We spend a lot more time down in our basement than we do up on the main level. So I feel like the main level is more formal looking because we don't really utilize it as much. And then the basement is more, like you said, crash, we chill. It gets used and beat up down there. So it'll be nice to actually have those office spaces that are the doors closed. It's a way we could actually be away from work rather than seeing work all the time. Because now you walk into the guest room, you see Matt's computer. As soon as you walk downstairs, immediately you see my computer. So we're always around work. We're always reminded of work. It'll be nice to be able to close off that space, and it'll be functional, and we can just walk away from it and actually enjoy family time.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning in this week to This Georgia Clay, and thank you, babe, for coming and talking to us behind the camera or in front of the camera.
Thank you.
So we'll have more vlogs with Matt as well, because This Georgia Clay is not just me, and without him, we wouldn't have This Georgia Clay. Because like I said, I would just be recording on my phone, and that's what you would get. If I had to do it, it wouldn't be beautifully edited. There wouldn't be good music in it. Because I know somebody asked in the comments, what was the song at 5 minutes in? And I'm like, I don't know what the song was like. So yeah, he's really good at that. There wouldn't be any of that. So I appreciate you very, very much. So again, thanks so much for tuning in. We are going to do our giveaway. So for the giveaway, I decided that we were going to do 4 people, and it'll be $50 each. So a total of $200 in gift cards, but they'll all be Target gift cards, because I feel like Target is in and trendy right now. And I feel like, a lot of people can make $50 at Target work rather than, heck, I went to Crate and Barrel, and it's hard to spend or get anything for like $100. Really what you truly want, unless you're going there for a couple of things.
Spoons or something.
Yeah, and then not a lot of people have those type of stores in their area where they may live or whatnot.
But everybody has a Target.
Exactly, everyone has a Target, a couple of Targets. So we'll do that for 4 people. In order to enter, of course, you'll have to comment down below, I heart This Georgia Clay, same as we always do. Make sure that you are subscribed on YouTube as well as our Instagram as well. And then we will select the winners on our February 12th vlog. So it'll be around Valentine's Day, something cute, and we'll announce it then. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. I know that it was a pretty long one. But we wanted to, like I said, fast forward everything that's been going on, what our conversation has been like in our home from December up until now. And I hope you guys had a great holiday as well. We forgot to even mention that. We skipped right over that. But I am already planning for Christmas this year. Christmas is my favorite time. I love it. I was able to get a lot of good things, and I thought that I would keep them out, and when we came back, I would show them, but we ended up storing them. So you'll see them in December or usually this year, I'll probably start in
July.
No. No, I wish.
November, probably November again.
No, we started in October. Yeah, it was like end of September, October 1.
It was right
Because
after
all influencers start on October 1st.
November 1st. It was right after Halloween.
No, we didn't. Remember, it was Christmas inside and Halloween outside?
Oh, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be in October that you guys will see all of those items and things. Because with influencers, the only way to influence you is, how can I influence you if the product and the ideals aren't out until after, and then you've already decorated your house? How am I going to give you inspiration? So yeah, it'll probably be in October that you guys will see all of those things and items and stuff. But I can't wait to share my office. It's gonna be nice and girly, and I guess I could tell you the vibe will be a boho modern farmhouse. Is gonna be the vibe in my office. The mats will be masculine and moody, lots of leather tones and stuff like that, so real nice and sexy. And then my office is gonna be very just girly, just beautiful.
Dreaming already. Already got
I can't wait. I know my office chair I wanted from Crate and Barrel. It's pretty pricey. So yeah, we gotta keep making these YouTube videos so I can buy it. All right, guys. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
All right.